My name is Michael Gillies.
And my name is John Snyder.
We are going to talk about our history working at the first Book City store in the Annex and the writing community, for the most part, that was around the store. I think it opened in 1976, did it not?
And I joined in 1977 as the second employee, Michael being the first. But at the time, Toronto had the greatest density of bookstores per capita in all of North America.
It was also a time that people might find hard to remember now, but the superstore concept did not exist. There were three bookstore chains, Kohl's, Classics, and W.H. Smith. But it still left a lot of room for many, many independent bookstores. Book City was founded, it was a partnership between Frans Dunker and Max Layton. And Max was the son of Irving Layton, and I think Irving might have put in some money to help start up the store. I think it was because of Irving, right off the bat, created this fact that many writers knew about the store, and many of them lived nearby. And that included Gwendolyn McEwen, the poet Milton Acorn, Howard Engel, Marion Engel, John Irving, Rick Salutin. He brought Ken Dryden in, the hockey player, because they were collaborating on a play, Les Canadiens.
We had a lot of people who worked at CBC come in, a lot of university professors and students. Northrop Frye used to drop in, and Robertson Davies, Timothy Findlay. So it was really a literary community that was quite diverse, but also it became a meeting place because the hours were so long. It was open from 9 in the morning until 11 at night. The Bloor Theatre was down the street. The showings would end and everyone would funnel into Book City for a last browse and hopefully meet someone before they went home.
For a number of years, Greg Gatenby, who was at the time, for many years, ran the Harbourfront Reading Series. He lived in an apartment just across the street from Book City above a store. And so he would make a habit of bringing authors in to say hello and see the store. And he brought Salman Rushdie over and Ian McEwan. For me, the most notable non-author celebrity that came into the store was Peter O'Toole. He was doing a play at the Royal Alex, and he must have been renting a house in the Annex. So he came in quite often. And he arrived without any sort of entourage, did not bring attention to himself, just was very quiet and unassuming. And he just seemed like a very nice man.
But also, Kurt Russell and Goldie Hawn would habitually come into the store prior to heading to their swanky cottage in Muskoka, and they would load up with books. It closed in April 2014 after 38 years.
I was there for 13 years.
And I was there for 37.
It was originally a clothing store before Book City, and the two partners of the clothing store owned the building. And they were quite reasonable landlords.
Once the two tailors sold the building, when the lease was up at the end, they were wanting to almost double the rent. The pressure of Indigo and the chains and Amazon, combined with rent increases, it was decided to simply close that store.
I think both of us had, John more than me, had an interesting relationship with Frans over the years. But I do give him credit. People thought they were crazy when they opened in the location that they did. It was in the middle of the Hungarian village and not much else. But it obviously turned out to be a very wise move. And then the other thing, for better or worse, when the store opened, the policy at the store was to immediately discount new hardcover books by 10%. That was the first time that had ever been done in the book trade, as far as I know. The other thing I find very touching, considering I haven't worked there since 1989, when I see people either in the neighborhood or anywhere in the city and they recognize me, the first thing they say is, "Oh God, I miss that store."
Yeah.
It really was a gathering place, and it was a great place to work. We worked with great people and had a really interesting clientele. It was a lot of fun.